China trade hopes spring eternal, JJ. Is that what the market's going on?
Absolutely. It's the story of the last few months. Whatever happens in China overrules everything else. People talked about, is it the government shutdown thing, et cetera, when the government was shut down. As we saw on days China had good news while the government was shut down, the government didn't matter. This is what everybody cares about, and the settlement will allow companies to make plans in the future. The big things we didn't see in earnings so far was CapEx spending plans with a definite yes, no, wherever tariffs are at. Corporations can make plans.
We did get a couple of hopeful pieces of information in the Rose Garden today from President Trump, and that is that he would be amenable to extending that trade deadline if the talks are going well, and that he could actually not escalate the tariffs beyond what they are. So, Shannon, those things were sort of in the markets but not confirmed. They are confirmed today. So what do you do?
I think what you do is you sort of base what we're seeing on, sort of the economic picture. I think that from a tariff perspective, I think a lot of the companies have already warned about the potential impact of those tariffs. I do think the market is moving a little bit less on a day-to-day basis on tariffs because we have some other concerns and considerations. You saw the economic data yesterday, retail sales, industrial production today. You see what's happening in Europe. And so I think that while a tariff resolution could provide a little bit of a bump, where we're trading right now, sort of getting to the mid to the top end of the range, I think that you want to look at other things besides tariffs over the next couple months.
Yeah, I agree with that, Mel. I think at this point, the market has for quite some few weeks now been pricing in a resolution of some sort to China. I don't think we can say anymore that if you get a China deal, it's up 10%. A lot of that's in the markets. The flip side of that, though, by the way, if tariffs go into increase, I don't think they will on March 1st or at any point thereafter, you will see a significant whoosh downward in the markets. That's not what I'm investing for here, and I'm not going to make a strong market call. What I am going to make a strong call on is there are plenty of opportunities in individual stocks out there, and it runs across the gamut of industries. You can find plenty of industrials like CAT that are well off their highs. You can find plenty of pharmaceuticals and biotechnology stocks, a lot in the energy space. My overall point being this, don't try to make a market call here. Find the opportunities in stocks that you've been waiting for. Plenty of them will be at prices that right now you can buy.
But if you believe in the retail sales data that we got yesterday,
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
If you believe in the IP data that we got today, should we be concerned? Should that be your backdrop for investing?
Well, I think China's still going to be the backdrop, and personally, I'd like to see a deal be put off for 6 months so the S&P is up 20 handles a day as long as we keep pushing it off. Look, I agree with what you said. I agree with what you said in part, but I do think the dialogue starts to turn, to your point, to what's the Fed's next move. We're seeing real issues. Now, I don't know how good the data is that we saw today and yesterday because of the government slowdown. So we'll probably see revisions to the data. I'd be shocked if we didn't. But when you take that apart, the key thing will be going back to JJ's point. Once you have stability, do you see CapEx spending? Now, I don't think you necessarily do because we didn't see it before China was an issue, and that's been the canary in the coal mine the whole time. There hasn't been CapEx through the whole cycle. If we do get that, that'll take us through the next liftoff. But the uncertainty that'll be after the CapEx is the weakening global economy. So, look, I do believe we're at the upper end of the trading range. I'm still being greedy. I'm nowhere near fully invested, haven't been, but I'm going to start to take some money off the table.